We understand that dozens of people were injured in that, including some children. You can see in that video that it's a real mix of people there. There are women and children in the crowd, families that have been camped out there for days, hoping to get across into Macedonia and from Macedonia to travel into Europe. Now, this has been building for some time. Essentially, Macedonia said that it was tightening up its border controls, only allowing those from Syria and Iraq with valid photo ID to cross. That means they must have a valid passport or a driver's license or health documents, something to prove they're Syrian or Iraqi. They are not allowing Afghans in. Now that does actually have quite a bit of an impact, because thousands of Afghans have been crossing to gain asylum status in Europe. So what that meant was that thousands were then sort of camping out at this camp. I think an estimated 5,000 to 7,000 were camped, and it's really only able to take about 3,000 at this particular border crossing. And things boiled over. They pushed down the fence. They were able to break through. They were then pushed back by tear gas, as you point out. We also understand that rubber bullets were used at the scene as well. But now, since then, the border has been put back up. The fence is now back in place. Things are starting to calm down. But the problem still remains. Thousands stranded in Greece without access into Europe, and those frustrations are increasing. And there doesn't seem to be a solution in sight, Christy.
And what is Angela Merkel's thinking on this, as nations in Europe continue to build fences and refuse to take in migrants, leading to scenes like this that we're seeing today? How is the German chancellor addressing the issue?
Well, she, of course, has been the leader on this issue, saying that Europe has a moral obligation to allow these refugees in. And Germany has taken more than 1 million refugees over the last year. But since then, she has come under increasing pressure as the strain has put pressure on borders across Europe and in different countries, and of course here in Germany itself. But she maintains that Germany will not put a cap on the number of refugees, even though neighbors like Austria, for example, have said they will only take 80 refugees a day. In the meantime, Balkan states have put up even more border controls. They're allowing fewer and fewer people in. And countries like Hungary say they won't take any refugees at all. So Merkel's vision of having individual countries in the EU each shoulder more of the burden, take in more refugees, simply isn't working. And her other plan, to have Turkey keep many of the refugees and then fast-track their refugee applications from Turkey, doesn't seem to be working either. And that has left Greece with tens of thousands of refugees. And now, in addition to an economic crisis, it's threatened with being overwhelmed by the refugee crisis.